SemeAd Interview, uma conversa com quem forma opinião na academia.
Ok, vamos falar com a professora Linda Hendry. Dear Professor Linda Hendry. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. So, first of all, thank you very much for accepting our invitation to SemeAd, not only to be a keynote speaker here with us, but also to provide a time for us for this interview. Thank you very much. So, Professor Linda, well, is this your first time here in Brazil or not?
It is, yes. Yes. I've been to Mexico. That's the nearest I've been to Brazil.
Okay, well, I hope next time you can also be not only virtually, but be, okay, really in Brazil. And our conference, well, this is the first time our conference is running online. You know, most of the academic conferences are running like that this year due to the pandemic. But as we have to do it online, so we try to find out ways to do better things with this technology. And one of the things we did is this initiative that we called SemeAd TV. So what's going on? What is going on is we are broadcasting this transmission. This transmission is split in two parts. First is sent for the conference people. So in the cockpit of our platform of the conference, people are watching this TV that's running in parallel with all the sessions, and also this transmission is broadcast and open to by YouTube. So you're talking to, let me say, some people that we know that are in the conference and some people we don't know that is open for other academics. Just to have an idea, we have around 2,000 Congress people in the conference. To be precise, 1,955 yesterday, and SemeAd TV is really, let me say, becoming very interesting for the conference people. So, just to clarify what we're doing here, so thank you very much. Sorry to make you wait a little bit. We're finishing another interview because we are online, okay? And you know, I am not from the TV business. I am an academic, a professor like you, but we are doing our best here, okay, for this entertainment to our conference people. And well, I saw your resume. You were in the University of Lancaster, fantastic. People really are enjoying that you can be with us, and you work, your research is in a very interesting area. I saw the thematic of our speech, not only supply chain, but the sustainable supply chain, responsible supply chain. So if you could give us a brief what you're planning to do in your speech so people here can have an idea, would be very, very nice.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've been at Lancaster for quite a long time, studying many aspects of supply chain management. And probably about 10 years ago, I got involved in supervising a PhD student who was from Indonesia and was looking at supply chain uncertainty. And as part of that, a lot of emerging, what we called at the time, ethical issues came out in the supply chain. And so our research started to evolve. We did a structured literature review about 5 years ago now in terms of ethical issues in the supply chain. And as a consequence of that, we got very interested in social supply chain management. Now, social issues are very complex because we're dealing then with people issues, and in particular, modern slavery in our supply chain is a very difficult issue to address because obviously it's a criminal activity. Nobody is going to admit to having slaves in their supply chain in the modern day. So in about, probably about 5 years ago, we then got involved in working with a business in the UK, a big brand, but which had supply chains that went across the world, including suppliers in Asia. And we got involved with them in trying to think about how they could eliminate modern slavery from their supply chains. It's a very interesting topic because it is really complicated. And it's complicated because supply chains are complicated. We don't want to have, if we had simple supply chains and we had visibility across our supply chains, it would be easier. But often it's not. Supply chains are complex and global, and that makes it very difficult to have visibility and to manage the whole supply chain. So what I'm going to be talking about in the talk is I'm going to first of all define modern slavery so we all know what we're talking about. Then I'm going to talk about whether governments should try to deal with it, or whether businesses should be responsible for it, or indeed consumers. So I'm hoping that people will feel that this talk is very relevant to them through their research, at whatever direction they want to go in, whether they're going to go towards business or government interaction in the future, and as consumers here and now. So I think it's relevant to all of us, whatever career prospects we've got, but I think it's a really, really important and interesting management issue that we need to study.
And if I may comment, one thing that I was thinking about is the dimension of impact in this thematic, because many times when we think about impact, usually organizations look, let me say, to communities, look, for some stakeholders that are close, But when we think about, for instance, a global value chain or, a supply chain that are across borders in other countries, so the company have a chance to promote an impact not only surrounding it, but also through, let me say, the supply chain, and this impact can go to other countries. And this is, let me say, a very interesting aspect of this phenomenon, of this research. Would you mind in comments a little bit about the impact?
Yes. Yeah, it's a global problem, and therefore it can also have global impact. You're absolutely right. So we would hope that we are going to be, through this type of research, improving working conditions for people across the globe. I think one of the things that we as consumers are responsible for, but then businesses, partnering with that, we don't pay enough for the things that we want to consume. And businesses then have to put a squeeze on their suppliers, who put a squeeze on their suppliers, who put a squeeze on their suppliers. If we can all pay more, so as consumers, if we pay more, and then if businesses, so the big brands, the Apple, the big clothing brands, if they pay more, everybody can pay more down the supply chain. It's difficult to solve because obviously nobody wants to pay more, and businesses are always trying to get their prices as low as possible to try and attract more customers. So I think it's a big cultural shift, but it does have potential to have huge impact across the globe.
Okay, fantastic. So, our audience for sure is enjoying this interview, and people for sure are wondering to watch your presentation, your coming presentation. So thank you very much, Professor Linda, to be here with us, sharing your time, your knowledge, your experience. And I hope you have a good journey here with us. And maybe next time, not only virtually, but also here in Brazil. Thank you very much.
I would be delighted to come to Brazil. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.